Gurren Lagann, a manly tale about becoming a man. Motifs and theming all to do with being a man. A grand tale about manliness that will pierce the manly vault of— oh god! Hang on, my eyes need to wash and I can't find my bleach. But never fear, because now there's Kill la Kill, a manly new series about— royalty? Gurren Lagann vs. Kill la Kill. Where to start with this one? Okay, I'm not gonna lie, Gurren Lagann is my favorite series of all time. Critically speaking, I don't think it's the best anime, but it's my personal favorite. And knowing that, I came to the stunning revelation that I am too biased to do this video, and so I promised myself I wouldn't make it. Whoops. Let me start with a little story. For the record, I highly doubt many people will think this story is fair on Kill la Kill, but my opinion does change, so try to wait until the end before you decide you want to dress up my video in Sith cosplay. As a big fan of Gurren Lagann, I was eagerly awaiting its successor, but when it finally came to the first episode of Kill la Kill, I was met with probably one of the most disappointing first episodes I've seen, both because of the unfulfilling hype and the dull execution. It was just crazy and stupid. Where was the depth? Where was the hook? It was just meh. The only thing I can vouch for is our main character Ryoko, who has an awesome introduction as a very strong character. Seriously, biting a lemon in half in the first 5 seconds of screen time is a pretty badass way to introduce a character. But as Kill la Kill went on, it only reinforced my belief that Kill la Kill was just a shallow, superficial copy of Gurren Lagann. Gurren Lagann was so much more than people prattling around and occasionally shouting at each other. Gurren Lagann had morals and principles behind all its shouting. Gurren Lagann wasn't just, okay guys, there's some good guys and some bad guys, make them fight and make it stupidly over the top. Because underneath the superficial good guy, bad guy setup was etched a much more deeper material about what it means to be a man, principles and morals, and not to mention some fucking godly character development. It just felt like Kill la Kill copied Gurren Lagann's superficial plot, thinking that was what made it good, completely missing the actual depth. But hey, I mean, Kill la Kill has a great soundtrack. I just wish it would stop bossing me around. Do what I want! There's only one moment where Kill la Kill hit the depth of Gurren Lagann I was looking for, and that was in episode 3, where Ryoko is all like,
I finally get it now! I need to get naked! I didn't know I was doing it, but I was rejecting you out of embarrassment!
And then she proceeds to fight this epic fight because of that character development, very similar to Simone's rebirth in Gurren Lagann, which is awesome. Gotta say though, Kill la Kill's scene has to be by far the dumbest excuse for fan service I've ever seen. I mean, everyone knows that they just want an excuse to stick fan service in to bring in more of an audience, but hell, that's a fucking godly excuse if I've ever seen one. Mainly because it's an excuse that actually improves the story. I don't care what you say about fan service, you cannot deny that that was an impressive move. Unfortunately, that was it. We never see anything like that scene again, and that really disappointed me because that was the kind of scene that made Gurren Lagann. Now, if you keep up with Podtaku, which I don't, okay, scratch that. If you watch the Kill la Kill episode 1 episode of Podtaku, you'll recall someone responding to Jimmy saying that episode 1 of Gurren Lagann wasn't that good anyway. The rest of the group even unanimously agree that Kill la Kill's first episode is the exact same. That made me angry. Gurren Lagann is not the same as Kill la Kill. No way! Anyway, I started watching Gurren Lagann over again, as I do with every anime I cover in a video, and oh my god, they're the exact fucking same! This show is not how I remember it. All that deep stuff about morals and whatnot I talked about before actually shows up in Gurren Lagann super rarely. In fact, the thing that made episode 3 of Kill la Kill great only comes into play like twice in the first half of Gurren Lagann. And hell, one of those two executions isn't really that good anyway. This is probably pretty obvious by this point, but my god, was I biased to Gurren Lagann or what? The things that I loved in Gurren Lagann weren't even in Gurren Lagann! Just like in the early episodes of Kill la Kill, Gurren Lagann prats around with things that aren't really all that interesting or significant. I mean, let's see, what have these two got in terms of, let's say, random fights of little importance? Kill la Kill, what have you got? Fights against random clubs and giant school events that, in all honesty, didn't need to happen? Done and done. Gurren Lagann? Random ass gunman fights with no real interest? Done, done, and done. Lack of developments in both plot and characters in some episodes? Deal done, and sweet memories of my childhood done. Fanny. As I say, Gurren Lagann is my favourite anime, and despite this, it still is. I adore Gurren Lagann because it hit me on a much more personal level. I loved the first episode because of all that stuff about being a man and believing in the you that believes in me stuff. It all struck an immediate chord with me. It's used later for motifs, but I loved it even before it became those amazing motifs. This is why, even though some of the episodes weren't all that great, I still found much more of an interest than the average person did. Didn't do the same with Kill la Kill, however, because there was no personal hook for me. So I hope people get what I mean with my criticism so far. Just to clarify, these shows can have their amazing episodes, but the first half of both of these shows at least are littered with episodes with a fairly big lack in good character development or plot. A bunch of episodes fail to do anything great with the characters, and a lot of the time they'll mess around with useless side plots and situations that quite frankly didn't need to exist. They both also tend to introduce characters that no one's used to and fill in development and backstory that's nowhere near as effective as it would have been to develop characters we've already become used to and started to love. Probably the only exception to this is Uzu, who's actually developed after a bit of time, as well as having a number of redeeming features to start with to get us better interest in his character. But yeah, everything else seems to be like, in this episode, Ryoko will fight with a tennis club in a never-before-seen battle of epic proportions. And I'm all like, yeah, let me go grab a drink for this awesomeness. Oh wait, my bleach is still missing! So at this point they look even, and Gurren Lagann isn't some godly figure of anime. Glad we got that sorted. However, here's a clincher. In terms of character and plot, Gurren Lagann has slightly more going for it. For instance, we have the constant development of Simon as he overcomes his fears and becomes a man, developing relationships between characters, i.e. Yoko's respect for Simon and her relationship with Kamina. We have the big-ass plot twist of Kamina's death. We have Simon's journey out of depression, Nia being a princess, the 1,000,008th prophecy, and to top it all off, we also have some super strong motifs, like the drill and the line, who the hell do you think I am, and so on. On Kill la Kill's side, we have the developing friendship of Mako and Ryoko. We also have Ryoko and Satsuki's developing relationship, as well as Ryoko and Senketsu. And unless I'm forgetting something, that's about it. As for things aside from character and plot that Kill la Kill has going for it, I guess you could talk about the over-the-top attitude, which is kinda tenfold over Gurren Lagann. However, being over-the-top doesn't make it good. It's more like, well, that's mildly amusing and novel, but I don't think it counts for all that much. And I suppose I could talk about the comedy, however, I rarely found anything funny in Kill la Kill. Honestly, I found the humor obtrusive and dumb. Why does that sound so familiar? So yeah, I guess Gurren Lagann is the— oh wait! I've only been talking about the first half of Kill la Kill so far. Next time, I'll be comparing the second half of both of these shows. So get ready people, this is gonna be a whole different board game, because when Kill la Kill hits episode 18, everything changes. Ciao! Alright, welcome back people. So continuing on from just before I split the video in order to utilize deep and manipulative psychological tricks on my audience, wait, how did I even script this? So, as I mentioned before, I'm not really a big fan of Kill la Kill. However, at the end of episode 17, Satsuki goes 180 and Ragyu over here starts pretending she's Jesus. I'm like, holy shit, this is some cool clouds. But it's a really good plot twist. That is mainly due to the fact they haven't shown Ragyu as immortal yet, so it seems as if they just dropped the main antagonist in a matter of seconds. Some might want to call that cheap, but as long as the audience believes it at the time, it still counts as a great plot twist. That's kind of what balances out the technique, really. You can't abuse it because the audience will eventually stop taking the bait. I just compared audiences to fish. I'm sorry guys, I didn't mean that. Mop mop. Anyway, from this point, Kill la Kill really improves. We get so much more character development from everyone. Satsuki becomes kinder, Ryoko hating herself, Ryoko turns evil and back again. That's like debatable if that counts as development, but there's a change in her character that's really interesting to see. We also have Satsuki and Ryoko developing their relationship with sisters, and so on. In terms of plot, oh my god, in terms of plot, we have Ryoko gets stabbed, Ryoko is Ryuko's mother, identity of Ryuko's father, Ryoko and Satsuki gets destroyed, Satsuki gets captured, 4 divas join near the beach, Ryoko storms off, Satsuki is rescued, Ryoko switches sides, Satsuki fights her, I get brain damage from hyperventilation, Nui loses arms, Nui gets her arms, Super Kamui, blah blah blah, and so on. On top of this, the comedy makes a big improvement too, or at least I think it does. Maybe it's just I'm more accepting of it because stuff is actually happening now. I don't know, I'd have to do more of an in-depth analysis on it. Anyway, so in the second half of Kill la Kill, it gets a lot better. However, Gurren Lagann also gets significantly better as well. Those weaker episodes of Gurren Lagann are totally done away with for a lot more plot. So many significant things happen. Who are the anti-spirals? What's up with Nia? Simon's used as a scapegoat. Why is Ross you such a dick? In his video, Arcana mentions the start of the second half bogging things down, but I don't know. I think the serious political section was done fine. I know ultra serious dark political dilemmas isn't exactly Gurren Lagann's style, but that doesn't stop it from being good by itself. There was a lot of interesting character relationships going on, so many interesting mysteries were started. Not to mention it was awesome to see how everything changed over the course of the time skip. Plus, it's not like Gurren Lagann can't be serious. Kamina's death and how it affected Team Daiguren afterwards was freaking gut-wrenching. On top of that, surprisingly there's still actually a good amount of action in each episode. So you can't really complain on that front either. I'm not getting at Eurocard or anything, you know, not trying to be mean, I just completely fucking disagree. Anyway, just like Kill la Kill, Gurren Lagann brings a lot more plot and character development to the table in the second half. And given that I think Gurren Lagann's first half beats Kill la Kill's first half, see part 1 for that, coupled with the amazing motifs that Gurren Lagann has always had that Kill la Kill never seemed to grasp, I have to settle on the winner being Gurren Lagann. Interestingly, this is the first time I've decided on an older anime being the winner rather than a new one. I'm gonna hope that's because it's just genuinely better, rather than just me being vastly biased. Oh, on a side note, about endings. Both have kind of an issue with killing off characters at the very end unnecessarily, and it kinda hurts the closure. I'm more of a fan of Gurren Lagann's ending, but I'm pretty sure that is because of my bias that's acting up. That said, realistically, Kill la Kill probably has the better ending since it doesn't seem to end on the main character living a seemingly sad existence. Personally, I think Simon was quite happy, but I can see why people would have thought that he wasn't. It really could have been better presented, really. That said, Kill la Kill having the slightly better ending just isn't enough to sway the vote over everything else, so yeah, Gurren Lagann still wins. I just mentioned this because it does deserve some credit. And I only just thought of it post-scripting. Also, people have wondered about my thoughts on endings before, so what the heck. Anyway, that's all for today. Abrupt ending!
So long as they have intelligence, they will never break free.
So, you are the anti-spiral.
Yes, I am.
I'm afraid your life is going to end today.
Such a sad and weak creature. Another typical human.
And you will shed tears of scarlet.
The true power, the divine right to rule, is something you're born with.
Momo. No.
Found her. Guess I shouldn't have left her lying around. I apologize. I really didn't plan on surprising you this way. No. I should have chopped her into little pieces and hidden them away where you'd never find her.
And to think I could kill every man, woman, and child here in the blink of an eye if I wanted to. The power of death is intoxicating.
Why have you come here?
I'm not here to fight you. I surrender.
You've beaten me at my own game.
Don't flatter yourself. You were never even a player.
You will obey me, or this defiant breath will be your last.
You are my absolute favorite people to kill. You are so beautifully amazed when you die, especially when I squish your brains or minions like a baby sausage.
You are finished, all of you.